Jannik Sinner just won the Rome tournament, achieving something only Novak Djokovic has ever done before in the history of tennis. 35 wins and 2 losses in 2026, 6 Masters titles in a row, winning every single Masters 1000 event at least once by the age of only 24. In 7 days, he heads to Roland-Garros, the only Grand Slam missing. Alcaraz withdrew. His path is clear, except for one man. Only one player can stop him in Paris, and trust me, tennis needs him to succeed. Welcome to the Court Inside channel. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing, especially with Roland-Garros right around the corner. To understand why tennis has a problem, we need to grasp the sheer magnitude of what just happened. Last night, Sunday, May 17th, Rome Masters Final. Sinner versus Casper Ruud, a dominant straight-set victory, 6-4, 6-4. 1 hour and 44 minutes of clean play on Italian red clay, in front of a home crowd in total trance. He is the first Italian to win Rome since Adriano Panatta in 1976. 50 years of waiting. With this win, Sinner is the second man ever to complete the career Golden Masters, winning all 9 Masters 1000 events. The only other one is Novak Djokovic. No one else has ever pulled this off. This season, it is 35 wins and 2 losses, a staggering 95% win rate, only 1 loss in a final, none before the quarters, and he is the first player in history to win 5 straight Masters. Paris late 2025, Indian Wells, Miami, Monte Carlo, Madrid, and now Rome. 6 Masters titles back-to-back, unprecedented. In 3 of those, Paris, Indian Wells, and Miami, he didn't drop a single set. Those 2 losses are his only ones in 2026. The first was the Australian Open semi-final against Djokovic, losing in 5 sets after leading 2-1. 18 breakpoint opportunities, but he only converted 2. The second loss was at the Qatar Open in February, beaten by Jakub Mensik in a 3rd-set tiebreak. Only 2 players in 37 matches. That is the whole list. Wimbledon, the US Open, Melbourne 4 Grand Slams already, Australia 2024, US Open 2024, Australia 2025, and Wimbledon 2025. At 24, he has 4 major titles and needs exactly 1 more trophy to complete the career Grand Slam, Roland-Garros. That is the situation, and that is exactly where we run into a problem. I am going to say something that might shock you, but if you think about it for a second, you will agree with me. Tennis was never built on solo champions dominating alone. It has always been built on duels. Federer, without Nadal, is just a guy winning everything. Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, that is a religion. That is 20 years of debates. Grand Slam marathons in Australia or New York ending at 4 a.m. due to the time difference. Nobody dares turn off the TV. I know I don't. It is fans clashing. It is a sport exploding in ratings, sponsorships, and raw emotion. The big 3 were not just 3 champions who happened to show up at once. They were 3 rivals who hated and respected each other for 2 decades, and each was great precisely because the others existed. When Pete Sampras dominated the 90s, tennis lacked the aura it found later. Sampras won, and he won big. Sampras was a giant, but something was missing, a permanent rival on his level. Agassi tried, but it wasn't a constant duel. It was sporadic. The sport waited 20 years for a rivalry etched in stone. And this is not just tennis. Formula One saw it with Schumacher at Ferrari or Hamilton at Mercedes. Dominance kills ratings because there is no one left to make the champion tremble. It is the same with PSG in football since the Qatari takeover. 11 titles in 13 years and a half-empty stadium because nobody believes an upset is possible. When the outcome of a match is known beforehand, in any sport, it is just a demonstration. Drama requires a true antagonist. That is the basis of every human story ever told. No hero without a nemesis, no tension without opposition, no catharsis without a fight. And that is exactly the situation we find ourselves in today in tennis. Sinner is a hero, a real one. He wins with class, never complains, works hard, and respects his opponents. Personally, he is my favorite player since Federer retired. But that does not change the facts. If nobody stands up to him in Paris next week, tennis loses a story. Not a match, a story. And it is that story that keeps the sport alive. So the question remains, who in this Roland-Garros draw can actually stop Jannik Sinner? Let's take a hard, honest look at the field without holding anything back. Carlos Alcaraz is the only man to beat Sinner in a Grand Slam final these past 2 years. But for Roland-Garros 2025, he is out. Right wrist injury since Barcelona. The #1 rival is officially sidelined. Novak Djokovic, like I said before, is the only one who beat Sinner in 2026. But he is 39 now and just lost in Rome. He is way too shaky. Alexander Zverev is world #3, yet he has lost 9 straight to Sinner. Mentally, that battle is over. Plus, a back injury just forced him out of Hamburg. Casper Ruud lost the Rome Final 64 in 1 hour 44. 0 slams, not today. Lorenzo Musetti stalled in the Madrid round of 16, then Sinner crushed him. Huge talent, but too erratic for a major title run. Ben Shelton or Joao Fonseca? Same story. They are all way too young and inexperienced for this level. Not one of them has ever reached a Grand Slam semifinal, and Sinner made light work of them recently. This is not their year. You are probably thinking the bracket is cleared and Sinner is just going to cruise. Except there is one name we might be overlooking, and that name is Daniil Medvedev. As strange as that might sound, it is the truth. Last Saturday in Rome, during the semifinals, Medvedev versus Sinner was rained out. They resumed the next day. Sinner won 6-2, 5-7, 6-4. He was the only player in the tournament to steal a set from Sinner, the only one to drag him out of his comfort zone on the red clay. And that is no coincidence. Medvedev was world #1. That is not just a goal, it is his legacy. 2021 US Open. He crushed Djokovic in the final, killing the calendar slam dream. He lifted his first major title that day. A former world #1 with a Grand Slam and a Roland-Garros final on his resume. He has the mental iron of someone who has been at the top before. Then there is his style. A way of playing that is totally unique on tour. During that match, commentator Benoit Malin said something every tennis fan needs to burn into their memory. I quote, "Only Medvedev is capable of playing like this." Poor Zverev did not get it. If you let Sinner dictate from the baseline, you are dead, period. And that right there is the secret key. Medvedev stands 10 feet behind that baseline. He defends the indefensible. He grinds, he wears you down, forcing Sinner into 30-shot rallies over and over. By shot 30, it is Sinner who blinks first, not the Russian. His ball depth, his slice, his uncanny ability to neutralize a lethal two-handed backhand. Nobody else in the top 10 has those tools. Zverev hits hard, but from the same spot. Ruud moves you around, but with predictable angles. Musetti has flash, but fades. Medvedev warps the court, and warping the court is the only way to make Sinner doubt himself. That is why Daniil Medvedev is likely the only player left who can truly threaten Sinner in Paris. Not with raw power, but with a genius tactical mind, using a champion's memory and a total refusal to play the way everyone expects him to. So, honestly, what do I think? On paper, Sinner wins this tournament. An open draw, Alcaraz gone, and unstoppable form. Logically, in 2 weeks, he completes the career Grand Slam at just 24. But my bet? Medvedev meets him in the quarters or semis and pushes him to 5 sets. Maybe he does not win. Maybe he won't even win. But he makes him shake. He makes him doubt. He reminds everyone that this sport is not a dictatorship, and that is exactly what professional tennis needs right now. Because if Sinner lifts that trophy on Sunday, June 7th, without even breaking a sweat, no 5-setters, no battles, then the debate is closed for the next 10 years. No more spectacle, no more suspense. Just one guy winning while the sport watches its audience vanish. But if Medvedev pushes him to 5 sets and things start to break, we get a rebirth, a story, a reason to keep watching. So, who are you betting on? And if you do not think it is Medvedev, tell me in the comments who you think can challenge him. I read every single comment.